Thank you, Steve. So, my name is Joyce Wu. I'm the director of the Chinese Flagship program at URI. And tonight with me, actually, we have one of our student ambassador, Claire. Colleen, are you here?
Yeah, I'm right here.
好的，好的。所以，可琳，她的中文名字是可琳，所以可琳，你可以跟大家说你好吗？
大家好，我是凡客人. Hi everyone. My name is Claire Swenson, and I am a Chinese flagship student as well as an honors project student. Yeah. Do you want me to say any more?
We can wait for that and feel free to jump in when I'm presenting our program information. Okay, great. So why Chinese? So I'm happy that 80 of you are staying around. So that's great. So if you're interested in the Chinese honors program combined with Chinese, so if you want to start your adventure in Chinese this fall, you can start with Chinese 111H or Chinese 311H if you had high school Chinese or you're a heritage speaker. So why Chinese, you might ask? China has the biggest population. I think India just passed us. We do have 1.4 billion people who speak Chinese. So if you want to talk to 1/6 of the world's population, this is a language you probably want to learn. And then it's one of the 6 official languages of the United Nations. And I mentioned earlier, if you love food and if you love culture, if you love technology, many of you probably have heard about TikTok, the big TikTok migration to Red Note, right? So technology is really one of the modern China that we're looking at. And some of you might just want to have a challenge, right? So you're speaking English, if you want to learn something completely different, like a logographic kind of language, then Chinese is the way to go. But why study Chinese at URI? So first, URI has this special feature of combining Chinese with any of your other majors. We have students who combine Chinese with engineering, business, international studies, and diplomacy, and many STEM majors as well. And also, you probably don't know, but URI has one of the 8 Chinese flagship programs in the US, and we're the only one in the Northeast region. So it is a language flagship programs are aiming to develop global professionals with superior level of Chinese, which basically means by the time you graduate from the Chinese program, your Chinese proficiency is good enough for you to work in the federal government looking at all the documents in the original language. So it opens a door for future employment opportunities. And also it cultivates deeper intercultural understanding. Our students will have generous scholarships for study abroad twice, one for a summer and one for a capstone year. Okay, so these are the fun facts that we're looking at. And don't forget, learning Chinese is also another way to develop the right part of your brain. So if you speak English, you're using most of your left part of your brain. But Chinese, Japanese, all these logographic languages will develop the right part of your brain. So you become smarter and more intelligent, right? So to fulfill the honors goal to become deeper, broader, and more complex, you have bigger brain, right? So here is our URI Chinese flagship Instagram. So if you're interested, please follow us. We feature a lot of activities there. I think this is really the program in a nutshell, but I do want to give Claire to a few minutes, 2 minutes maybe, to talk a little bit more about your experience at the Chinese flagship program.
Yeah, so I came in as unable to speak a word of Chinese. I just showed up one day because I heard about it through the grapevine, and it's been a really great experience. I came to URI with actually a double major in French, and I heard about the Chinese flagship program through my roommate, and it was exactly what I was like looking for because I wanted to learn a second language. So even though I didn't really have like any particular draw to learning like Chinese, I really found myself like falling in love with the language, and like all the teachers are just absolutely amazing. And as an ambassador, I've also like feel like I've been able to connect to the kids beneath me and or not beneath me, but in the grades below me and the grades above me. And what's cool about the Chinese flagship program in particular is you get like a week of orientation and then you go into well, it's just the flagship programs basically on campus. And then afterwards, you kind of go through all 3 or 4 years of, learning Chinese with them. And even though you guys have all different majors, you kind of come together and do homework and you live in a living learning community. And I'd say my best friends in college are a part of the Chinese flagship programs. And not only are we like diverse in our studies and wants, but also like diverse in our like reasons for studying Chinese. And um, yeah, I both of my roommates actually currently throughout my entire career at URI have been in the flagship program. And I feel like we're a very tight-knit like community, but we also have our friends outside of the program. So I think it's a really good way to set yourself up in college if anyone's nervous for like going to school by yourself or eating by yourself. Like you don't have to worry about that. Just walking in, you instantly kind of have like a friend group. Um, and what's really cool is that you also get to study abroad with these people, so you kind of develop those really tight-knit relationships because you're forced to be in a foreign country with each other for 2 months. Well, not forced, we very willingly go. But I think it kind of ties in, um, the whole program kind of ties in how amazing our teachers are, and then also how amazing URI is with the experiences we get offered. Um, I saw a question about um, uh, joining it in your sophomore year, and you can, but you might just have to extend like the program slightly longer.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing my capstone. You're supposed to do it in 4 to 5 years. Yeah, this is Mandarin, not Cantonese. And I studied abroad in Taiwan. Sorry, I just see the questions coming in, but
Yeah.
um,
谢谢可林. So
so
I think I see some questions here and we can answer it one by one if that's okay with you, Steve. Okay. All
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
So,
Go right ahead.
yes. So, right. Usually, we recommend starting a flagship program in your any language program in your first year because the way that language curriculum sets up is that you start with 101 and it takes about 4 years to complete the entire major. So, highly recommend to start in your freshman year, but if you have other reasons and you have to start in the second year, we're always happy to talk to you about your particular roadmap. And are you able to do multiple language programs? Yes, we have 6 majors in the languages department, and we also have many signature programs. You probably have heard about IEP, International Engineering Program, International Business Program, International Studies and Diplomacy Program, and the Chinese Flagship Program. So all these programs provide you different ways of combining different language with your other major. And all of them have the opportunity for you to study abroad and usually with scholarship support. But I have to say for the Chinese Flagship Program, because it is funded by the Department of Defense, so you get a really good scholarship to study abroad without worrying about money. So that is the selling point. Plus, most of our students, if you get a foreign scholarship in your fourth year to study abroad in your capstone year, there is a built-in federal service. So you can get an internship job right after you're done with your college, which is usually the first step to get into federal service. I have a student who is now being a visa officer in the Guangzhou office representing America. I think it's very, very cool. I met him for dim sum when I visited Guangzhou, so he's one of our best students. Is there a placement? Yes, placement test. Contact me, and then we can talk more about placement test. We're learning Mandarin. Cantonese is for one of the local dialects for Guangdong province. So we're learning the standard Mandarin Chinese. And somebody asked, Claire, did you study abroad and where?
I studied abroad in Taiwan, but specifically Hsinchu, Taiwan. And I was there for 2 months, but there's kids from the program who went kind of mostly between Sinju and Taipei.
Mhm. You. Um, how many number of Chinese classes do you take each semester? Just one. So you go with the sequence. You start with, if you have zero knowledge of Chinese, which is most of our students, you start from ni hao, hello. By the time you graduate from college, you are at the native speakers level, which is really cool. Okay. So, and can you major in marine biology and minor in Chinese? Yes, but I would say it takes about the same time to get a minor in Chinese, uh, and about the same time comparing the minor and major. So I would recommend you talking to me and we can figure out what to do. Okay, civil engineering. Okay, all right, good. If you don't know a lot of writing, yes, if you don't know a lot of writing, you start with us in level one. And also now we're going technology oriented. So you can type Chinese instead of painstakingly write everything with your hand. So one thing I did not say is that URI has the best Chinese programs, one of the best in the US, and we have a very strong teaching team. So our faculty is representing internationally pretty often, and then you are in a very small and close-knit community. So I know we're running short on time tonight, but please feel free to reach out to me or reach out to Claire. We'll put our email address in the chat. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
And I just wanted to highlight something that Dr. Wu touched on when I believe it was, yes, it was Ali asked about the placement test. And I want to reiterate how this works for pretty much all languages at the university, where if you have some advanced knowledge and you don't want to start from ni hao, as Dr. Wu put it, but you've got a little bit of background knowledge, Dr. Wu said, just come talk to her. And that's really how much of it goes is you go to someone in the department that speaks the language that you're interested in studying. They'll have a conversation with you. They'll learn a little bit about your oral proficiency, any of your writing abilities, how well you can comprehend it, and they'll make sure that you get placed at the appropriate level at the university. And it can really go into some incredible opportunities. As Dr. Wu talked, the funding that the flagship program has here allows for some really incredible opportunities with studying abroad. And I know if Dr. DeBruin were still on with us, she would be singing the praises of this program. She's a big proponent of everybody should learn a foreign language while they're in college, because not just in terms of you as a person, but if you want to think about it in terms of economic return, the economic opportunities that come up for students who have increased their language proficiency in a language other than English. And the research shows that they have greater job opportunities, greater earning potential right from the time they graduate. So it's not just an investment in a nice skill that, oh, wouldn't it be cool to speak Chinese, but can also be an incredibly valuable thing for you to do during your time at the collegiate level. So thank you to Dr. Wu for sharing all that information. And again, they put their contact info in the chat. Please reach out to Claire for the student experience, or Dr. Wu to learn more about the programmatic elements of the Chinese flagship program. And thank you so much to everyone who stayed on for the long haul with us. I appreciate you all being here and learning so much about the URI Honors Program and then the URI Chinese Flagship Program. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening. We hope to see you on campus sometime this spring, and then hopefully joining the RAM fam this coming fall. So take care, everybody. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye.